The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good morning, everyone. Steve Murray here, bright and early on a post-Memorial Day Tuesday morning. We're going to talk today about Roth Conversions and the potential there for assisting your clients and growing your client base. Our guest speaker today is the coach, Dave Pimper. He's going to join us here shortly, and we're going to try and zip through this in fast and effective order here as quickly as we can. As we get started here, just a couple things. There will be a poll or two that will pop up. Just quickly answer those if you would, one way or another. It really doesn't make you're not making any commitments either one way or another when you answer those polls. And secondly, if you have questions, go ahead and type them in. We'll get them asked and answered just as quickly as we can. Again, my name is Steve Murray, Executive Vice President here at Insurance Agency Marketing Services. In conjunction with Dave, we'll be talking today about Roth Conversions. As we get started, I want to just run through a couple of things that I'm sure many of you are aware of, so I'm going to go through them rather quickly. Just looking at our group of folks, I see that most of you are already actively doing business with us. Many of you already take advantage of these two programs. Very simple and straightforward programs. First, when you refer a producer to us, he gets contracted with us and starts doing business, you're going to start receiving a bonus on his business, his or her business. So if you have any colleagues out there that you think might be interested in learning more about what we do here at IAMS, give their name and their number to your annuity or life sales director. We'll call them up. If they get contracted, we'll send you a check. And then when they start doing business, the checks will just start coming to you. And we send those out quarterly. Marketing reimbursement's a little bit different. That's based on your business. So when you send business in, you're going to get marketing reimbursement to help offset some of your marketing expenses. Chris Ramel in our accounting office handles that. He can give you your marketing balance at any time. The idea there is quite simple. Whenever you do business, money goes in your marketing reimbursement account. We'll match your spend on marketing dollar for dollar. So take advantage of those two programs to help grow your business. I knew we do have a couple of new folks on with us today. I'm going to whip through these really quick. We've got new producer builders, and the idea there is simply when you get started with us in your first 180 days, we try and make it as simple and as beneficial to you to get right into doing business with us as soon as possible. You know you're doing business. We want to make it easier to do business with IAMS by offering you a couple of incentives that can help you further grow your business. So if you look at the different levels there that you can claim at, you see that we do a lot of things there that are designed to help you further grow your business. There are a couple of things that are just doing pure incentive. We've got a Ritz-Carlton travel package down there at the bottom at the 500,000 level. We've got some gift cards out there as well. And a lot of it is built around helping you grow your business, whether you want to do seminars or whether you want to do take advantage of putting a little money into your marketing reimbursement account, whatever you want to do to grow your business. That's what those new producer builders are all about. So if you're just getting rolling with us and you haven't done your first piece of business, that's a great reason to get rolling with us. We hope you get started quickly. Great back office support for those of you that are already doing business, which is by far the larger part of the folks here with us today. We've got a great back office. The submission to commission part of our business is the strongest part of our business. It always has been and always will be. We put a lot of emphasis here on with our teams all throughout the office on how important it is to pick up the phone, how important it is to make sure that your questions get answered on the spot, how important it is to get your business moving through the pipeline, and how important it is to make sure that once your business is through the pipeline that the commissions are paid. So Amber and her team in the new business department do a great job of that. And no doubt, if you've done business with it, you've seen that and know how much weight that can take off of your shoulders, so you can get out and do exactly what it is that you do every day to build your business. So if we can help you with your business, we will. And the way to do that is to send a piece of business in. So we appreciate that with everyone here on the line today. Many of you send us your business regularly. If there's ever an issue, if there's ever a problem that it looks like maybe something that we could have done a better job on, I hope that you will certainly give me a call directly. Like I said, we put a lot of emphasis on that. We take a lot of pride, built up a reputation year over year, being among the best in the industry, if not the best. Great creative marketing team. Think of them as your advertising department. If you think of it that way, then you'll take advantage of them to the fullest. So anything that we can do for you, we're going to do for you at as little or no cost if we can. A lot of what we do kind of pro bono work for our agents because we know that building your business is how we get paid. And so we want to make sure that we do everything we can to help you improve your image, build your image in your area. So it can be as simple as helping you with business cards and logos and letterhead. It can be as complicated as helping you with your Facebook. Anything, as I mentioned, we can do for you at no cost, we will. We can use your marketing reimbursement for anything that we need to make some charges on, like getting your letterhead out to you or getting your website up and rolling, things like that. So let us help you grow your business. It's a big part of what we do here. The advertising people work with folks just like you day in and day out, and they do a great job. I've gotten nothing but great feedback from our producers on them. So our website's got some great stuff. I will just direct you, if you been to our website, take a special look at the support section of our website. You can kind of see it there, the small print on the screen. It's about the 4th or 5th section over. Go ahead and take a look at that support section and go to the IAMS sales library. There's a ton of stuff in there. If there's one thing that I hear back from our guys that they wish they had known about and are a little disappointed that no one told them about, so I try to make a point on every webinar and every opportunity I get, go to the IAMS library under sales support. You're going to find a lot of great stuff there that can help you build your business, build your referrals, and be more valuable to your client. A lot of great tools, other things that you can use on our website. We do have a sign-on. That sign-on is there because we'll soon be able to display your business there as well, so that you can actually go on the website and look at your business and see how it's progressing through the system. So take advantage of our website if you have not already. Retirement Analyzer is a really nice tool. We talk about it a lot. It gets being utilized more and more and more, and I don't see that changing. The specialist here at our office is Marcus Soller. He spends a lot of time with it, works with a lot of folks. If you need to have a tool that you can use, sit down with your clients, kind of show them where they are towards getting to where they want to be on their retirement journey, that's a great tool to do it. A lot of information contained therein, a lot of information on Social Security, a lot of information on pension plans, a lot of information on integrating all their other investments, including their savings, annuities, mutual funds, all in one spot. So if that's something that you have interest in, it's a very simple thing. You just give Marcus a call. He'll send you out a link. You can try it for 30 days. He'll help you run through a couple of cases. If it looks like it's something you can use in your business and you're doing business with us, we'll take care of the cost. If you're not doing business with us, then we'll probably ask you to help us with that a little bit. But there's no doubt that that's a great tool that we have, many of our producers are now using, and has shown a lot of great results for them. So hopefully you'll take advantage of that if you have not already. As I mentioned, give Marcus a call and just say, hey, Marcus, I'd like to take a closer look at the Retirement Analyzer. Wealth management. So I'm going to keep this short and simple. I'm going to shoot a quick poll up here, but it's going to be, what we're going to talk about here is going to be very short and simple. If you are considering getting the Series 65 and you haven't yet and you're looking for a little bit of help, what I want you to do is when this poll comes up, hit yes, and we'll have the team over at IAMS Wealth give you a call. They'll walk you through a little bit about what you have to do that, and we've got some discounted programs to get you the study materials. If you have an RIA that you're maybe you think the fees are a little bit higher, your payouts are a little low, I've gotten really good feedback from our guys that our fees are among the lowest in the industry and our payouts are above 1% in many cases. So if that's better than what you're at right now, I hope you'll give them a call. If maybe you've got an RIA but you haven't been happy with the support that you've been getting along the way, we've applied the same level of service standards to IAMS Wealth that we've applied to our other businesses, and guys truly have been surprised by that when they come from another RIA. It's not normally the process that you get as much help as we give our guys on the RIA side. We have a couple people over this dedicated to doing nothing but that, and so you'll be certainly happy with the attention to your business that you get from the folks at IAMS Wealth Management. And finally, if maybe you've just not been happy with the assistance you've gotten along the way in terms of converting some of your business from maybe the insurance business to a wealth management type approach, just the language maybe hasn't been there, or the processes you're not comfortable with and you need a little bit of assistance, that's what we have specialized in and done a really good job with many of our regular annuity and insurance producers in helping them bridge that gap. So if you're having trouble making that transition with your current RIA, what I'd ask you to do is check yes on this poll. And I'm just going to leave this poll up for about a minute and a half, so I'd ask you to make your decision on that fairly quickly. As again, it's a fairly simple thing. If you check yes on that poll, you'll get a call from Mike or Charles, and they'll be glad to answer any questions you have, tell them a little bit about what they do and how they do it, whether you're looking at getting the Series 65 or already have it and just want to delve a little bit more into what they do, their fee payouts and their fee expenses and things like that. They'll be glad to walk you through that and see if it's a great fit. So looks like everybody's taking my advice and voting rather quickly. I appreciate that a great deal. Looks like we've got a few that have not. I'd ask you to just hit yes or no on that poll. Believe me, if that is of not an area of interest at all, do not hesitate to check no on that poll. That's certainly just fine. If you're happy with where you are with your current RIA, if you haven't considered getting an RIA, check no on that poll by all means. If on the other hand you want to at least have a 15-minute conversation and kind of explore what's going on out there in the RIA world and spend some time with the guys and see if they can help you in some way, then check yes. And finally, good to keep in mind that there's a lot of buzz in the industry right now. Again, as you may or may not know, the DOL has once again decided they're going to relaunch the fiduciary rule, somewhat modeled after what the SEC is doing. So there's no doubt that we can see something coming about, if not by the end of this year, probably early next year. That may be that if you don't have a 65, that's going to be something that will really make a difference in your success levels in this business going forward. So we'd love to help you. I'm going to close that poll out. Thank you all for voting so quickly and for being so willing to take just a second and give us an idea of how you're feeling about something. And I'm going to close that poll out. For those of you that are unable to vote, which it looks like there's 15 or so of you out there for whatever reason, if you would and you have an opinion, give us a call here at the office, 800-255-5055. We'd love to chat with you. Okay. Dave, are you with us this morning?
Absolutely.
All right, good to have you. So we're going to talk about the Academy for a second. I'm going to give you one more poll, everybody, and then we're going to talk to Dave. So our life and annuity academies are very well sought after in the industry. They've gained a reputation over the last 14 or 15 years of being some of the best learning of sales and marketing ideas and opportunities around the sales and marketing in the insurance and annuities and fixed parts of your business, as well as working with a little bit on the wealth management side over the last 2 or 3 years. So they've really become well sought after, and there's a lot of reasons for that. I think one of the reasons is the quality of the presenters. We have 4 of our top producers that present, so you're hearing from people like you that are making their living every day out in the field, which is, I think, key to the success of those academies. And finally, we do spend a little bit of time with our sales and marketing team, giving you other sales and marketing ideas that every practice should employ. Do we talk a little bit about product? No doubt about it. We do talk a little bit about product. That's not really the focus at all of our life and annuity academies. Life and annuity academies are built to help you grow your business, and believe me, the product stuff will fall. So I always talk to guys about it in terms of it not being a level 100 class, but being a level 200 class. We're not going to spend a lot of time explaining what an indexed annuity is or how indexed universal life works or what single premium life, how the mechanics of products work. What we're going to talk about is what some of the best and most successful producers in the industry have done to grow that part of their business. That's what we really spend time on. So if we can help you with that and you'd like to join us at an academy, keep in mind that we do take care of your expenses associated with that. So we're going to take care of your travel. We're going to take care of your hotel. We're going to take care of your meals while you're there. Usually they're going to start on a Wednesday and have you back to your office on Friday. So you can kind of occupied a little bit out of your office for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday of that week. If you have any question about the depth of that academy, I would be glad to give you names of a couple guys that have been and how they've helped their business over the years. You can certainly go onto our website at IAMSinc.com and have a look there at some of our comments from past experiences from guys. If you hit yes on this poll, what's going to happen is you're going to get a copy of the most recent itinerary, so you can see kind of hour by hour what we talk about. And then you'll also get a registration form, which if you would like to be considered to come in for one of our upcoming academies, whether it's late this year or early next, we'll give you a call if we have your registration form in and see if the time frame fits for you. So that's what happens when you say yes on this poll. You'll get a sample agenda and that registration form. If you complete that registration and send it in, then you'll be on the radar for attending upcoming academies. So we'd love to have you join us. Again, in the interest of time, I'm going to close that poll out in just about 30 seconds here. For those of you, again, that were unable to vote, give me a call here at the office, 800-255-5055, and we'll be glad to get that registration form out to you if that's what you would like, or let you have a look at the agenda, or if you just want to talk about the Academy for a couple of minutes, give any one of us here a call, ask for your annuity or life sales director, ask for me if you like. Be glad to help you with that. So with that, I'm going to close that poll out. Thank you all for being so quick to vote, and let's get a move on here. Our next Top Producer Summit is really upon us now. It's in August, closing out qualification here in June. Just looking at our attendee list, it looks like many of you are well on your way to qualifying. For those of you that are very close, if you need an updated number to know where you're gonna, if you're gonna fall and hit that 3 million number to qualify for you and your guests, give us a call here at the office. For those of you that still have some work to do to qualify, we'd love to help you with that. Let us know what we can do to help you. We're gonna be down in beautiful sunny beach in beautiful Naples, Florida, and we'd love to have you join us, you and your guests to join us. So keep that in mind. So let's talk a little bit now about Roth conversions. So our guest speaker is Dave Pemper. Dave has got multiple years of experience in radio, multiple years of experience in seminars, and done a great job with both. He's been a coach for us for about 14 years now, working with our producers on a one-on-one and practice building, Social Security seminars, qualified money seminars, retirement mistake seminars. And most recently, he's launched Retirement Boss Radio exclusively for producers of IAMS as well. So very fortunate to have someone of Dave's talent and expertise and experience with us. And I think it's important for y'all to keep in mind too that beyond that, Dave's main focus of his business day in and day out is bringing new clients and new potential clients into his business every day, just like you. So great information from somebody who's got the exact same focus on his business as you do. With that, let's turn it over to the coach, Mr. Dave Pemper.
Hey everybody, my name is Dave Pemper, and I have a firm called Lazarus Coaching, and that firm specifically works with IAMS, Insurance Agency Marketing Services, works with their representatives and advisors, agents, to help them with not so much product. That really isn't my expertise, but certainly it is with going in and talking to them and helping them with the sales process, with seminar marketing, with a radio show marketing, which is a newer venture for IAMS with myself, not for me. I had a live radio show for 11 years in the morning for 45 minutes on Saturday morning, 7:45 or 7:15 to 8 o'clock. And then I did a ending market report, kind of Paul Harvey in the news, for about 13 years. So we've just launched that about 2.5 months ago, and we've really had some really great interest. So this is off of the Roth conversion subject, but if I can help you with seminar marketing, if you're thinking about it, you live in a large 100,000 person or larger metropolitan area, that you could see yourself having your own radio show. Ours is called Retirement Boss Radio. Take charge of your money. It is trademarked, and we're in 7 cities right now throughout the United States, and we're just getting going. So we're pretty excited about that. So thank you very much for everyone attending today. Hope you had a great holiday and enjoyable, and a little bit of grilling and spending time with family, and of course, most importantly, celebrating our military, and especially the ones that have lost their lives. So here we go. We're talking about Roth conversions, and I'll tell you right now that if you don't have expertise in Roth conversions, you really should. Roth conversions can go in and can help build production. So what we're going to do today is, if you've got any questions, certainly type those on in. I'll be more than happy to answer those for you. So it asks, why are tax-free Roth conversions such a timely strategy? Well, here's the reason why. One of the things there is that when you look at the traditional IRAs, traditional 401ks, traditional IRAs, traditional SEP simples, etc., 403bs, there's much more traditional money out there. So we got the tax break when it went in, as it was a seed, if you got the planting analogy from a crop, being from Nebraska, which I am, you go in and get a tax deduction on the seed, but you're paying taxes on the crop way down the road. And so the government does us a favor. I mean, they do give us a deduction. They do let us grow that tax deferred, but there's a payday of ordinary income taxes. Pensions are disappearing, so people are looking for other ways to go in and take income. The reduction of employee match, I just talked to someone that from a huge company, and they're matching 3%, and it's a publicly traded company, and they match 3%. That's it. There used to be matches of 7 to 10% was very common stance, but it really isn't today. And so every traditional IRA holder does have the opportunity to convert and delay paying those conversion costs only about 4 or 5 years ago. That doesn't happen today. So what happens is that when we say delay paying conversion taxes, they did have a couple 2 or 3 year window at one time, but now they are due the next year. So if you've got any questions on this whatsoever, go ahead and just type them in and be more than happy to help you with that. So what happens is that when you're converting, in just simple terms, when you're converting from a traditional, let's say you've got $100,000 and you want to convert that $100,000 into a tax-free Roth. Well, what happens is that you're going to go in and take that out of basically the traditional umbrella. You're going to pay taxes, ordinary income tax on that money, and now it goes into a tax-free Roth IRA. There's no limit on how much you can convert. Now what happens is that the reason you do it is because you're going from taxable to tax-free, but because there's a tax burden, a lot of people hold off because they aren't going to do it because of the amount that they're converting is it's costly as far as taxes. So many times we'll do partial conversions. If it's $100,000, we convert $10,000 a year plus whatever interest over a 10-year time period, and pretty soon it hasn't hurt us in a tremendous way on taxation each year. And in 10 years, we have completely converted that. Now, when you start talking about an annuity, it's pretty darn strong to say, would you like to convert this to a guaranteed, predictable, tax-free income? Yeah. A Roth IRA with an income rider, guaranteed certainly catches their attention. Predictable, tax-free catches their attention. Yeah. So what happens is that with a Roth IRA converting into a Roth, now there's no RMDs, required minimum distribution amount, for the owner or for the spouse if they are married, if that owner dies first. So if it's in the man's, normally a man dies first in a marriage. Not fair, but that's how it is. And if he has a tax-free Roth IRA, then that would convert, or it would transfer over to his wife as if she had always owned that. So there is a break-even point for some people. I mean, of how many years in front, taxable versus tax-free. And there are certainly many tax-free conversion software. Some are free, some you pay for, but they're pretty simple. They look at the type of return you're going to make, the type of tax brackets you're in. And if you're not in a tax bracket, then Roth, tax-free Roth isn't going to make a difference. But most people who I work with on that pre-retired, retired, no doubt, is in a taxable bracket. So there's a 5-year rule with Roth conversions. And so what that means is that for every Roth conversion, let's say that we converted today, May the 28th of 2019. Well, that's when the clock starts ticking. If you take the earnings out, and remember, there's always the principal is taking out first. It's always it's the first in is the first out when it comes to Roth. So if you put 50 grand in and that 50 grand goes to 5,500, if you want to take $5,000 out, that 5,000 is a return of principal. Only when you get into the earnings of that investment the 5-year rule applies. Okay. Now I had a bank president, very well known in my little town of Fremont, Nebraska, where my home office is, and he was up in his 80s, close to 90s, passed a couple of years ago, but he was Roth converting every year. And I asked him one time, I said, you know, you're not going to probably live, because he wasn't in very good shape, long enough for that conversion to help you. I'm not looking out to help me. I'm looking out to help my kids when they inherit this, that they will have no taxation at all on this. Okay? Yeah. So they're still an inheritance, but they won't have any taxation on that. If they inherit it, they still will have RMDs, required minimum distributions, off of stretch IRAs, but there is no taxation on that. And that's why he continues to do that. We do a lot of partial conversions. Lots. I got a guy right now that's converting $125,000 over 5 years, and he's doing $25,000 a year. Partial conversions certainly does keep the cost of the taxation down, and in different. I'll go back on this, but different than a regular Roth IRA. I guess I went. Let me see if I can get this back. Nope, they're not letting me go back. I don't know why that is. Hold on real quick. Yeah, the 5-year rule. That's what I wanted to show. Okay, so the 5-year rule on a Roth IRA, once the first one is started on a conventional Roth, not conversion, conventional Roth, the 5-year rule starts with the very first one. So if the next one is put in 5 years later, the second one is tax-free right when it puts in. So it only goes off of the first one on a regular Roth IRA contribution. On a conversion, every one is a 5-year. The clock starts for 5 years on every single conversion. Now, undoing a Roth conversion, can't do it. A characterization is no longer available. So I won't even, it used to be called the OOPS rule, and it's not available now. So what do you want to consider before converting to a Roth IRA? Well, you know what? Right now, tax brackets are actually probably as low as you'll see them for a while because of the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act. But the standard deduction is high right now. For a married couple, it's well over $24,000 of the income. You do pay no taxes whatsoever. So I think what happens is most people have a lot more traditional money in 401ks and IRAs, and having some balance with that tax rate. Like my daughter, she's 29 years of age. It was a couple, 2 or 3 years until she had the availability of a Roth, alternative within her 401k, and now we're splitting that money half and half into her Roth, half into her traditional. You know, what happens is, and we see this from time to time, where someone will have a tremendous amount of money, of like $1 million in their traditional IRA, and that was the greatest place to save, but they have hardly any other money. Well, when they need anything, it's always taxable. Always taxable. If they would have maybe 25 or 30% into a tax-free, they could use that as their discretionary extra money for like travel, or if their house needed shingling or the transmission went out, where they wouldn't have to pay taxes on that money. So I like to have there's certainly a place for traditional IRAs, but there certainly is a place for tax-free Roths also. And just like my he was now deceased, but he was a wonderful man, and the president of the local bank here in town, which is still local, by the way. His intent was to pass that money tax-free, to his kids, and it's just right first, and then to his kids, which is real important. So you got to kind of consider those things. So when you're talking to clients, why introduce a Roth conversion? Because I like to be considered kind of the Roth conversion expert in my little town of 26,000. A lot of people come to me and say, hey, heard you've done Roth conversions. And we do quite a few every single year. But I think just that extra knowledge certainly goes in and builds that. There are some books out there that I think are good about Roth conversions, but a key book, Ed Slott has a key book. It's called The Ticking Time Bomb, and that and that book does a very, very good job of talking about Roth conversions. So if you don't have that, the retirement savings time bond basically is what it's called. I'd get the newest version, but there's really great information on retirement planning in general, but there is on Roth conversions also. If you have any questions, certainly type those in, and we will be more than happy to answer those here, because we're going to be done here within about the next 5, 6, 7 minutes. I think it takes a little more expertise when you're doing Roth conversions of just making sure that they're done properly. So it kind of elevates you in that client's mind a little bit of what your professionalism is. So a little bit of Q&A, but if I would ask who thinks income taxes are headed higher in the future, well, I'll tell you what, the Tax Cuts and Jobs Acts, it sunsets in the year 2026, they actually sunset through 2025. They're going to be higher. I mean, historically, decade to decade, rates have been higher, so that favors tax-free over tax-deferred. I said, how many of you know that up to 85% of your Social Security benefits could become taxable income? Yeah. If you're married, you make over a level about $44,000. Yeah. Then you're not taxed at 85%, but 85% of that benefit is taxed. Leaving your assets to the heirs tax-free, they will thank you every day. They'll thank you, I'll assure you. And if they have an account that, say, is in a brokerage account, and by chance that brokerage account has gone down in value, that is a good time to go in and to roll that money out, because you're paying less in taxes of the corpus of that amount. So here's that Ed Slott book, The Retirement Savings Time Bomb and How to Defuse It. It's a good book. This is a quote from Ed Slott. Roth IRA conversions are the silver lining to the economic crisis. These may be the lowest tax rates you see for the rest of your life. That was probably written 7, 8 years ago, 9 years ago, and they are low. We'll probably see much higher rates when it comes to the future, which will make a tax-free Roth even more appealing to your clients. So if we just kind of had a bullet point here, the reason for a Roth conversion has a tax-free benefit to yourself. Then it says qualified distributions won't affect your income tax liability and thus don't affect the taxability of your Social Security benefits. Yeah, municipal bond interest is figured in provisional income for Social Security, but tax-free Roth income and distributions are not. So it could keep you below certain income brackets where you're not paying any taxes on your Social Security. With traditional IRAs, there's income. There's age brackets. At 71.5, you can't put into a traditional IRA anymore. But you can with a tax-free Roth, as long as you've got, earned income. Now, interesting, if you work for the company with your 401k, then you can delay taking RMDs and can continue to put in on a traditional, but not in a regular IRA. And there's no RMDs for the spouse, no RMD for the owner, no RMD for the spouse, and of course it's tax-free if it goes to your kids or your contingent beneficiaries. So Roth conversions, they've got a lot of things that are going for them, and what happens is that I don't think often. I do believe that right now that interest rates are about as low as they're going to be, and so what happens is that if your client is looking at, especially from income planning down the road, and they're going to be in a high enough tax bracket that tax-free income, it's a big deal, that I would go ahead and say, let's take a look. Let's see if it works for you. There's a slide as we're kind of ending up here, but you got to ask yourself, who might be a good candidate of your clientele or your prospects if they want to manage their tax liability retirement, or maybe reduce the taxability of Social Security benefits. Yeah, they might be a good candidate. If they prefer flexible penalty-free distributions of the Roth, who doesn't want that if you're paying taxes? they don't need their funds right now. Down the road, they might take income or distribution from those, but they don't need it now, and they don't need the money for living expenses. Especially if they want to give it to their heirs. Yeah, then it's really important. So, who may be a good candidate? Yeah. Or who may not? Yeah, who may not be? That we just talked about who was a good candidate. Who may not be a good candidate? Well, if they need access to the funds right now, yeah, because what they need to, you could take from the principal, because that's a return of premium. But if they're going to take from their Roth, I just say right away, I don't think it's worthwhile to put it on in. If they expect to be in a lower bracket in the future than now, I wouldn't put it in. And they can't afford to pay the income taxes due to the conversion. If they can't pay it from side money, from a savings account or from a side account, yeah, then I absolutely wouldn't do it. If they have to take it from the account, now you're just doing double bad duty. You're paying taxes on it, and you're paying taxes on the money that you're paying the taxes on. It's like double, triple taxation. You certainly don't want to do that. So here's a myth. A conversion may be great for young people who have many years before they retire. Just doesn't make sense for old people. Remember I talked about that bank president? It's a great way for a wealth transfer, a tax-free wealth transfer for inheritance purposes. Yeah, it really makes a lot of sense. So as we're ending here, we'll see if there's any questions. And Steve, I will need to bug out of here, and then I'll let you have it here in about 5 minutes. But it says, procrastination is my sin. It brings me constant sorrow. I really shouldn't practice it. Perhaps I'll stop tomorrow. Never comes, does it? If you heard something today about Roth conversions that you think might be of interest, then there's going to be a poll up to get more information on Roth conversions. Talk to someone about Roth conversions. Certainly mark yes, but I'll tell you right now, to be an advisor, advising people what's the best for them, if you don't have Roth conversions in your kind of your quiver, it isn't one of your arrows in your quiver for Roth conversions, I think it's making a big mistake. It really, really is something where most advisors don't bring up to folks. And I do believe we're in some lower brackets right now because of the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, which will sunset here in about 6 years. So I'd love for you to mark yes, and we can go in and answer questions for you, or kind of give you ideas to market with Roth conversions. And Steve, I will turn it over to you.
Thanks, Dave. Great job as always. I know this is one of the major talking points that you often talk about during the course of your radio show, and I know it comes up in your qualified seminars when you talk about converting qualified funds. So it's a great subject matter, and it's also one that draws a lot of questions. So I'm going to throw a couple at you really quick. So can you convert a non-deductible IRA to a Roth IRA? The client wasn't able to have a deductible IRA, but he wants to potentially convert his non-deductible IRA into a Roth IRA.
Well, he has no deduction on that, so it is going to go on in, and so what he's saying is there's no deduction, but my question would be, is it set up as an individual retirement account?
And that answer seems to be yes.
Yeah, if it is, then you know what? Then he can convert it. That's right. He didn't get the deduction, but he got the deferral. But you know what? I would have to go in, because he didn't get the deduction. I would have to look at that and work it through the software to see if it's worthwhile, because he didn't get the benefit of the deduction. I don't know if it's worthwhile to go on in and to convert that. But could you? Yeah, you could.
You don't have to have earned income to convert to a Roth IRA.
Not at all. Nope. Not at all. Nope. No, you don't. Nope. Not at all.
There's no minimum age at which you can convert.
No minimum age, and there's no minimum amount. There used to be a minimum amount. Remember, Steve, it was at 100,000 at one time?
Yeah.
Now there's no amount. I mean, you can convert any amount, and you can be at any age. Looks like my bank president friend was nearly 90 years of age. On the last year before he died, he converted quite a bit of money so that his heirs would have a tax-free benefit instead of a taxable benefit.
So when you prospect for Roth conversions, Dave, is there a specific age that you would target? Like if you're going to do a mailing and said, okay, this is probably prime targets for people that might want to convert, what would you think that age and economic group might be?
Oh, no question. It's pre-retirement.
Yeah.
Pre-retired or just retired. Because here's what happens. Let's say that you just retired. Normally what happens to your income? goes down.
Goes down, yeah.
Right? Well, when your income goes down, taxation goes down.
Yep.
When your tax brackets go down, now all of a sudden adding some money in there from a conversion certainly doesn't hurt as much. I had a business owner. In fact, he was a sod owner. And Steve, I told you about this guy. He's done quite well financially, and because of a fungus, and at that same time this really bad flooding. But what happened is that he had a loss for this year, and when he had a loss for this year, he converted a ton of money because he was making 6 figures plus, and all of a sudden he has a loss, and he converted a bunch because he can go in and show that gain against the loss, and it washes. So you've got to kind of go in and you really got to kind of work the system for yourself, and legally, but for your best interest. But you have to have some flexibility. But you know what? Our whole goal is, if you're paying taxes down the road, could it be less? And maybe through a Roth conversion, we can make that happen down the road.
Yeah, if you've got a client that's got some losses that they're going to deduct, be a great time to convert an IRA.
Yep.
Almost a no-brainer, right?
That's right.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yep. So we've got a question from Mark, and it's much more specific. So, Mark, I'm going to suggest that maybe we have that call on one-on-one with Dave about that specific client. If that's okay with you, I'll get with Dave. We'll see if we can't get something set up for you to have that conversation. I think we pretty much – there was a question about your radio show, Dave, and I don't know how much time that you've got left. So basically the question was how does it work when you talk about RMDs during your radio show? Do people call in right away, or is that like you're taking on-air questions? How does that work on your radio show?
I've got 10 hot subjects. I call them hot subjects, and I want to incorporate 2 or 3 of those every radio show, like in-service non-hardship withdrawals. That's a hot subject. Okay? RMDs, required minimum distributions. That's a hot topic. Roth conversions, that's a hot topic. So let's say I'm talking about Roth conversions. And I'm saying, are you kind of, I'll say because it's a radio show, and it sounds live, though it's recorded. It's for an hour on a local AM station in Omaha. But I'll say, do you have a lot of money in your traditional 401ks, meaning it was tax deductible going in, it's tax deferred, and you're going to go in and pay taxes when it's going out? Well, you know what? You may never see brackets as low as they are right now for taxation because of the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act. I say one of the things we're doing is that we're going in, looking at people's investment and income plan, and see if it could help to do a Roth conversion. And then what I say is, look, if you haven't had someone who has expertise around a Roth conversion, you need to call. And then I give my number, 1-888-975-2677, 1-888-975-BOSS. Call right now for me to help you with that Roth conversion questions that you may have. That's how I do it. So, you know what? It's the whole thing about call to action. You have to give them the idea that, hey, we're really not taking advantage of something that could help us, but I can help you. And you know what? I'll say one more thing about Retirement Boss Radio. If you're listening, we got a ton of people, as you can see, on the line with us today. But if you've never thought, or you've thought about doing a radio show, this show, Steve, it's really gaining momentum, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. Yeah, it's not surprising, but it's a credit to you that it's so well put together, and it makes it easy for folks to get into it. So great job.
Well, you've helped me with that. You know what? And I kind of put the whole thing together, but you certainly have got such a tremendous business of so many advisors that kind of trust of what you're doing. And we had to test this out first, and we really had some super success. And Steve, interesting. Remember I told you I fell out of town about 3 months ago? We did a little over $500,000 on a retirement plan.
Yes.
He just referred a friend of his. He's got a little over $400,000. He's in the same department, same company, and I mean, he came in. Yeah, I had this appointment on Memorial Day Saturday at 7:00. So get a load of that. It was always he could meet early, so I said, let's do it. I'm going to be up anyway. But you know what? That's all from the radio show. So if you have any interest in the radio show, even though I know this is about Roth conversions, certainly mark yes there, and we will get you in contact with myself, and we can certainly discuss that also.
Perfect. I know you got to roll, and there's a couple other things I want to say about that. So you have a great day, Dave. Thank you for tuning in. I know you've got
everybody stay on the line. I actually got a radio appointment I'm going to right now in Omaha, but stay on the line, and Steve will carry you through. Thanks for spending some time with us this morning. Okay, have a good one.
Thanks, Dave. Good luck on your appointment. So I sense the question was what happens exactly when you have those call to actions, because there's a lot of information, whether you're talking about RMDs or talking about Roth conversions or talking about Social Security, there's a lot of information. And so some people have a concern when they're offering information via radio show or even via seminar that there's going to be some questions that are going to come up right then. So what happens on the radio show is basically say, if you have interest, it goes to a call center, and that call center sets up the appointment for you. So that's how that works. So it's not like you're going to be on live radio on the spot. Somebody's going to ask you a question and you're going to have to know the answer right there. And Dave has been a great resource for all of our producers around some of those more complicated subjects. So that's how that works on the radio show. I know that there are a couple of other questions. Roth conversions. Can you use an annuity for a Roth conversion? Yes, you can. Apologize. Let me just run through them here. Answered that one already. Answered that one. Age. So we do have a Roth conversion toolkit. So I have a question regarding how do you present Roth conversions. So via our sales resource library, we've got some great stuff out there on Roth conversions, from things that you can kind of plain label with your logo and your information you can send to your clients, things that you can, like little questionnaires. Is Roth conversion right for you? That's also out on our sales resource library. So a lot of stuff out there that can help you with that. If you need some help finding that, give us a call here at the office and we'll be glad to get it out to you. So I think we've answered all the questions. There was a question earlier about the next a sales academy. The next one coming up is going to be sometime that we actually have on the schedule right now, is going to be in late September. It'll be in Des Moines, Iowa. Now we may try and squeeze one in this summer yet. So if you have interest, by all means, watch your email, and you should, if you clicked yes on that poll, then you should have very soon in your hands a sample agenda and a registration form. Okay, so thank you for joining us. I know sometimes after Memorial Day weekend, you're catching up on a lot of different stuff. It's hard to break away for 35 or 45 minutes, and I appreciate the fact that you all were able to do that today. Here at IAMS, we're all about giving you the best information that we can to help you grow your business. We know that's the best route for success for our business, is make sure that you're successful. So that's what we want to do every day. Hopefully you've gain some information here. Certainly, if you have any questions that we can help you with, I hope you won't hesitate to give us a call. Anytime that you need any assistance around life or annuity business, I hope that you'll look to IAMS as your resource. We're at 1-800-255-5055. Call and ask for any of our sales directors. We'll be glad to help you. Thank you again for your time today, and have a great finish to your shortened sales week. Thank you, everybody.